Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to my home. My name is Becky, and I am so excited that you're here today. Well, we are having another Thursday where we are just flying by the seat of our pants and just winging it the whole day through. I'm not sure what we're doing. I have a couple things in my brain that I think we're going to do, or I know we're going to do. But as you know, I am right around the corner for Lily's wedding. It's 9 days away. I know. So I do have some things that I need to do for that. I also wanted to start simultaneously filming the wedding vlog, the last installment of the wedding vlog. So I'm going to do that today as well. I didn't want to just start it up the day of the wedding. I wanted to, I've got a few things leading up to that. So I'm going to be doing that as well today. But for this video, I thought that I would start with a little haul that I picked up this weekend. I got up Saturday morning and I went to a yard sale. Now, I used to go yard selling every Saturday. I have a girlfriend and we would go together. But, life gets in the way sometimes and we haven't been able to go like we used to. We still get together every now and then, but I really miss those Saturday mornings with her. We used to go every Saturday morning and we found so many goodies and the prices are so good. But this particular Saturday, she wasn't available and there was a yard sale not too far from my home. So I told David, I said, I'm just gonna ride down the road for a few minutes and check out this yard sale and see what they have. And I'm so glad I did, because I ran into two friends. I ran into Pam and Kay, and I figured I would eventually run into these girls because they do live in the area. And I've talked to Pam through Messenger, so I knew I would probably eventually bump into her at some point in time. And I finally did. I looked a mess. I literally crawled out of bed, so I had no makeup. I don't know what clothes I was wearing, but she didn't seem to care and I didn't care. So we had a great conversation. And I was so excited to meet you girls, and I just wanted to say hello to both of you. And let me show you what I got, because you left before I had a chance to actually show you what I picked up. I got some salt and pepper shakers, and these are so cute. They're kind of on the big side, but I picked up these for $2. There's the price tag, and they are his and hers outhouses. The holes for the salt and pepper is in the front here, so you would shake it out like that. On the bottom, there's a date of 1964 and the name Jim, and it looks like they're made by Enesco. So I thought these were amazing, just the best find. There's a blue for the his and a pink for the hers. So these are going to go on my shelf, my salt and pepper shaker shelf. And that's another thing we're going to do today. When we get done with this, we're going to go in there and we're going to put up all of our new salt and pepper shakers that we've just gotten over the last couple of weeks. Because if you'll remember, I got a gift last week from one of you that you sent me some cat salt and pepper shakers. So we're going to put everything up. And then I got this. Pam actually found this for me and pointed it out. She said, "Hey Becky, there's some Pyrex over here." And I went a running and I saw this, or she saw this for me, and I picked it up. And I don't remember the pattern for this. I don't have it in my head right this minute, but I do love this brown pattern, and I have a few pieces in this. It was only $5. Of course, this is a butter dish, so I'll probably put this above my cabinets in my kitchen with my other Pyrex pieces. So thank you for finding that for me, Pam. And then I got these pictures. Now, this is more summer style than it is mine, but for $2 for two of them, I was not going to leave them behind. I was going to take the chance if Summer was going to like them or not, but this one here is my favorite. This is kind of the style that she likes, and of course when I showed them to her, she loved them. They are very dirty. I have not cleaned them up yet. I've got to do a little repair on the back of this one because the hanger has come off, but that should not be a problem. But she's going to put these in her room. I told her if she would just hold off for a minute and let me do the haul, then they were all hers and she could hang them up. But this one is so lovely. I love this. And she loved them too. So $2 for both of those together. And then I got a package in the mail, and the package came from Tiffany. Now, Tiffany didn't leave me a last name or anything like that. So I put out a little post on Facebook last night to try to find her so that I could thank her personally and not just here. But Tiffany, thank you so much. This these are probably my new favorite salt and pepper shakers ever in the history of life. So I want to show them to you. So get ready, prepare yourself for amazingness. Aren't these so cute? Look at this little fat sleepy owl, and then this one. Oh gosh, I love them so much. They are, who makes these? Hold on. Norcrest. And I'm in love with them. They've been sitting in my kitchen since I got them, and that's probably where they'll stay, or either find another place of prominence, because I'm in love with these salt and pepper shakers. And then she also sent me a magnet that she said belonged to her mother, and it's been on my magnet. It's been in my magnet collection on my refrigerator since I got it, but I'm going to share it with you. And it says Faith. It's got this pretty little dangly jewel here. It looks like it was handcrafted, and it's so pretty. So that's been on my refrigerator. I'll show you what it looks like actually up there. And then she sent me this little set as well that we'll use for the fall time. And it's got the sunflower on it. You know I love sunflowers, so this is perfect for fall time. Thank you so much, Tiffany. I love, love, love that little goodie package that you sent to me. All right, so let's go in the craft room. Well, first I want to show you where I put these and the magnet, and then we're going to go in the craft room, and we're just going to find a permanent home for all of those salt and pepper shakers that I've been gifted so generously, so sweetly gifted the last couple of weeks. And then after that, I don't know what we're doing. Maybe we'll ride to the thrift store. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. So this is where I decided to put my beautiful salt and pepper shakers. I love them being here because every time I come into the kitchen to grab something, and you know Chunky Monkey, she comes into the kitchen a lot, I get to see them, I get to enjoy them, and they bring a smile to my face. I love how the yellow pops out from the glasses as well, and they kind of match each other. So this is where they are. And then over here, let me back up here, is where I put the magnet. She's right there. Here's a full view of the magnet collection that I have so far. They were kind of straight, but Salem came over the other day, and now they're not. So, and then I've got the butter dish all cleaned up. I just polished her nice and shiny, and we're gonna put it up here. I think maybe right there. So I did not like it up on top of my cabinets because obviously you couldn't see it, and it was just this big bright white square or rectangle. So I moved it down here to my tier tray. This is the back side of my tier tray, so I do need things over here. So I put it right here beside this beautiful little brown owl that Miss Dale gave me. She also gave me that little doily also, so the browns just kind of all go together, and I like this shelf. So I still have this shelf to fix, and I have this shelf to fix, but that's a work in progress that we're gonna have to save for another day. I do know one thing I need to do though, because it's been put on the back burner for far too long, but I need to spring clean this house. When I went up there, I need to degrease all of that, because you know when you're cooking the grease goes up. I need to dust. I need to do lots of spring cleaning in this house. So as soon as I can get things a little calmer around here, that's going to be, I've got to do that. It needs it desperately. All right, now let's go in the craft room. Okay, these are the salt and pepper shakers that we're going to add to the shelf. This is the shelf right here. I've got plenty of room up here to add. I just have to get up there to put them away. And then I've also got some owls. These owls and a majority of all of these cats were sent to me by Miss Brenda. Aren't they beautiful? Look at these beautiful colors. I can't wait to get them up there. And my owl collection is going to go either on this shelf or on this shelf. There's a sneak peek of the dress. Or on this shelf. Now, keep in mind, it's messy in here right now. I'm still planning and doing all the things. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I wanted to mention this too. Susan sent me this last week, and I told you that it was a ring, and she said, "Girl, that's not a ring." I thought it was a ring. It's still beautiful, and I absolutely love it. But what it is a lipstick holder. So you slide your lipstick in here, and then I figured out how to open it, and it's a mirror, so you can see yourself putting your lipstick on. Can you see? So I told her, I said, well, you can see how refined I am. I thought it was a ring, but I still love it. It's still beautiful. So we need to find a place to display that too. And then she also sent me these bunnies, but I think I might put those with my Easter stuff. So I've got to do that. But let's get these up here first. All right, so I'm up here, and I had forgotten that I had put this piece of wood on the top, and I did that on all the shelves, and I stained it, and that's what helps the shakers on the back to kind of stand out, so it's not all one layer, you know. But the good thing about all of these shakers is that they're pretty large in size. So, because they're on the top shelf, they're still going to stand out, and you're going to be able to see them. Fingers crossed. I also need to see if I have any more, but David had cut out a lot of these little blocks here for me so that I could kind of raise one shaker up and make a more interesting display that way too. But we're going to just get them up here for now and see if David can make us some more blocks. Let's see. We've got this little kitty here. This is one of the risers that Ken made me, and I love them because they really come in handy every single day. Somebody's calling me. Every single day they come in handy. And then we have some black cats here. Here's my other black cats that I have that I put out for Halloween. But now we have two sets. Those are scaredy cats. And then we have these beauties right here. I love the pink one. She's my favorite. So pretty. And then these in the little teapot can go right here. So for now, until I can get some of those little risers, that'll work. I'll show you a close-up real quick before I climb down also. Aren't they pretty? Okay, here's the other shelf. If you haven't seen that other video where I decorated these other shelves, this is what they look like. And you can kind of see how the risers make it just a little more interesting. And then here's the bottom one. I think the most popular salt and pepper shakers that I've ever shown you guys were the vacuum cleaners. Those went over really well. I found those on eBay. All right, let me climb down from this stool before I break a bone. There's another set of cats I have forgotten that I had. I have a whole bunch of cats, don't I? I have cats and squirrels and all kinds of fun things. This is going to be kind of hard to film so you can see everything, but essentially what I'm going to do is take these little owls and just tuck them in different spots. This one is not broken. He just has... he's like a little trinket box, and I need to grab his head and add to it. So, right, it's hard to, that's why I say it's hard to film this, because I'm doing it one-handed. That's the wrong head. Hold on. That one goes to that head, and this one goes to this head, and I'm balancing on top of a stool. There's a little chain in there. All right, now here we got him put together. Now we're just going to kind of put him right here, and then we're going to put the other one. Where's he at? Right here. Just kind of place him right there, and then we've got more right here. I think I'm going to put those over on the other shelf. I thought this might be easier than trying to put it up with one-handed balancing on top of a stool, but here's one, here's the other, and there's that one. So all of the owls have their permanent forever home. And the last thing I need to put up are these little cards. These are either just little notes, letters, well wishes, just little greetings, hugs that you guys have sent me. And I keep everything in this little folder. As you can see, it's about to bust at the seams. I also try to keep up. I'm a little behind right now though, but I try to keep up with anything that anybody sends me. I try to write it in this book, and if I have an email attached or a way to reach you, I try to keep up with it, just because I don't know, I feel like I need to remember those things, and my mind is feeble and I will forget names and times and dates and things. So I just need to add these cards to my little YouTube family folder and put this away. And then I think that's the last of, actually, I got this right here I got to put up. That came from Julia. She sent me some craft supplies, and I got to put those up, and that's a gift for Lily. So I think that's it. And what are we going to do next? Girls and guys, what are we going to do? Let's figure it out. All right, I cleaned up Summer's pictures. Look how dirty they were. They were filthy. I got them all cleaned up and shiny and bright, and I fixed the back of that one. So probably how she'll hang them will be like this. And she's got a wall in her room that she can do that with. I would take you in there, but her room is a mess as normal, and I'm not going in there today. But I've only got 16 minutes worth of footage for you so far. I just went back and took a quick look to see where we were. So let's just ride to the thrift store real quick. I like to just kind of pop in on Thursdays anyway. So we'll go see what we can find. If we find something great, if not, that's fine too. But let's just go see what they have today. We're only going to go to two places because I don't really want to spend all day thrifting. The first place we're going to stop is the Habitat for Humanity. The parking lot is slam full. I don't know what we're going to find. We probably won't find much of anything, but we're going to give it a try because I haven't been here in a while. And then we're going to go down the road to the CRCI store and see what they have, and then we'll head home. The first thing that caught my eye was this adorable little mug. If it had said something like, "Have a nice day," I probably would have bought it just to use every day because it was so darn cute. But because it said "Get well soon," I didn't know how I would be able to use that or even gift that, so I did leave it behind, but it was so cute, and it looked like something from the 80s for sure. Now, I live in a coastal town, and I am not typically drawn or attracted to anything coastal, but these dishes were absolutely beautiful. They were handmade pottery. One was a lobster and one was a crab, and they had little oyster shells on them. Somebody will have a treasure on their hands this afternoon because I don't think they're going to last long at all. And then I was, of course, attracted to the bright yellow sunflowers. You can always tell when it's Italian pottery just by these bright, beautiful painted flowers, and I figured that's what it was when I saw it from a distance. And I love this macrame plant holder, but it was just too big and I had no idea where I would even begin to put something that massive. I'm always looking for candlesticks. These were really pretty. I was doing a tablescape the other day and I was looking for candlesticks, and the ones that I had were not, they just weren't quite right, so I decided I was going to be on the lookout for some new ones, and I really like those. And these were some brass pieces. I thought it was funny that it said Walmart on the bottom, but I don't think that's what the Walmart that we're thinking of. It was also made, they were both made in Korea, but I love the brass element of them, and I thought they were really pretty. This was a wall sconce, and I couldn't quite figure it out. I thought that it might be too close to the wall, so you'll see where I kind of put it up against a wall in the store to see. If this were actually being used with candlesticks, I think you would probably catch the wall on fire. So I don't know. I left that behind. I'm always on the lookout for vintage Christmas items, and this just caught my eye. I thought it was adorable. I don't really do teddy bears, but how cute was it? And then I think this was an oven mitt that was in the shape of Santa Claus. I can't remember what price it was, but it was really cute, so I just wanted to share that with you. I took a video of this because there is going to be a time here in the short future that I'm going to be so mad at myself for not grabbing this. It was only $1. It was very vintage, very 1990s, right up my alley, but it's so big and I have so much. And the one thing that usually stops me from buying something is the thought of having to store it. And I knew I just had nowhere to store something that big. I tried to do a Google search on that cookie jar, but of course they put something up in these stores that keeps you from being able to use the internet. So I wasn't able to look it up is what I'm trying to say. I took a picture of this cabinet for, I do have some people who like rustic pieces, and I thought they might enjoy that, the more primitive style. Now these were amazing. Somebody donated their bulldog collection. I can't imagine why, but it was a wooden puzzle, both of them were. They were only $30 each. My brother-in-law does have a bulldog, but I don't know that he would quite appreciate the beauty of these the way I did. And then these were some more pictures that someone had donated, I'm assuming from the same home that loves bulldogs. Why would anybody want to get rid of these? These were amazing. My brother-in-law's bulldog is a really sweet dog, but he is so slobbery that every time I go to visit, I leave with slobber all over my pants legs, and it just, it's just kind of gross. But he's a sweet little dog. Well, he's not a little dog, he's an enormous dog. But yeah, he's a slobbery little man. So we are in the CRCI store now, and you're gonna watch the prices soar. This was probably one of the only pieces that I really picked up that wasn't marked entirely too much. That hen on a nest there, that milk glass piece, was $24.99, and I didn't even try to pick it up to show you because I would have been really mad if I would have had to pay that if I'd broken it. So these little guys were kind of interesting. They were candle holders. I think they were probably made in a pottery class. This piece was beautiful. It had bumblebees on it. You'll see the prices when I turn them over, and if I can, I'll actually put the prices up on the screen. It was $14.99. Yeah. That was the theme of the day in this place. Now these pieces were not marked that high. They were really beautiful. It's like a green transferware, but you had to buy individual pieces. So by the time you bought each individual plate for $2 and $3, you would have quite a bit of money in it. And this cookie jar was really beautiful. I looked underneath it. It was not McCoy or anything like that. I can't remember what it was, but it was very nice. And then I love this beautiful decanter. It wasn't marked too high, actually. I would have probably gotten that if I would have had a use for it. Now this is just a brass. It wasn't even brass. I don't know what it was. $9.99. I guess it's a coaster, or not a coaster, but a trivet. $9.99 for this. I don't even know what it is. This was just a plain old plate. $14.99. You can see my dismay. I was not happy. This is the exact depression glass set that I collect, but I did look through all the pieces and I have every single piece, so I don't need any more. I was only missing one piece and it was gifted to me recently, so I have a full set and I didn't have any reason to buy any more. And then this plate was beautiful. The colors were not quite right for my home, but I had to share it with you because it was so beautiful, made in Portugal. No doubt hand painted. And it was only $5.99. Now, why would that be $5.99 and that brass trivet thing be $9.99? I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand. I know you guys love transferware, so I did include these in there. They were $8.99 each. I think there was just a couple of them. They were really pretty. My sister-in-law collects Currier and Ives, so I always pick up the pieces for her. I texted her to see if she had this piece. It was kind of like a deep bowl, and she texted me back and said that she did not, but she did not text me back fast enough, and I was already home, so she missed out on that. And the last thing is this beautiful teapot that I have shared before. It is still sitting on the shelf because it is still $20. I'm going to share with you what I picked up today real quick, and then we're going to wrap this video up. Everything that I got came from the first stop that we went to, which was the Habitat for Humanity. As you saw in the video, and you probably heard me complaining about the prices at the CRCI. Anyway, here's what I got today. I did pick up this beautiful pottery piece. It reminded me of sunflower, and I thought it would be beautiful as a decorative piece on my front porch to put a little pot or plant or something. Put a little plant inside the pot. It doesn't have a drainage hole, so it's going to be purely for decorative purposes, but isn't that beautiful? And it was $6. And then I got this wooden candlesticks. They were $3 a piece. I'm sure I'm going to be able to find a place to put them somewhere in the house. I was looking for a candlestick set the other day for my tablescape, and I think I only had one or two, and I didn't like any of them, so I thought, well, for $3 each, these are really pretty, so I'm going to clean them up and use those. And then I got these brass birds. I think I'm going to put these up on my fireplace mantle because I have some brass candlesticks up there, and I think they'll match nicely on the opposite side. So I think those should look cute up there. And then I just picked up this little plate holder, pitcher holder, easel, whatever you want to call it. It was $1. I always pick these up when I find them if they're in good shape and good condition, because I use them so much in my house. So I always am on the lookout for those. All right, let's see what those birds look like on the mantle, and then we'll start wrapping things up. I couldn't find just the right spot on my mantle, but as you can tell, something's missing over here. I need to do a little work on it. It's kind of sparse on this side, but I haven't quite figured out what I want to do. But what I did was I took the little birds over here and I put them on this shelf, and I like them here. It needs work also. I just stuck 4 little sprigs of greenery here that I just had that had broken off of a bigger piece. But ideally, I'd like to have one higher than the other. And while we're talking about it, happy Mother's Day to everybody. I hope you have an amazing Mother's Day. This is my beautiful mother. She's passed away now, but I do miss her so much and still think about her every single day, and I miss her every single day. So this is where it is for now. We'll work on it later, but for now, I'd like it in this spot. I like the gold with all the other elements over here, and this is real life right here. That's why I'm talking so fast and I'm in such a hurry, but because I have so many things to do today. But that's where our little birds went, and the rest we're just going to play with later when we've got just a little bit more time to focus on that. So I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to say my goodbyes real quick. All right, everybody, that's all that I have for you for today. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes of your precious time with me. It means the whole world, as always. Until next time, I love you all, and I'll see you later. Bye.